Yes, we're back, and it's another episode of Oh Look, It's a Squirrel. Today, we're going to have a little bit of a jiggle around in the mind to figure out if there is a connection between these two things. Number one, the Georgia Guidestones. Number two, the World Economic Forum and the Great Reset. We all know the Great Reset is something a lot of people still haven't heard about, even though it's public domain. They've got a website, lots of stuff, lots of weird and wonderful, strange, evil things going on in there. But I want to know if there's a difference. I want to know if there's some kind of connection between. I suppose difference. Yeah, is there a difference between the people who did the Georgia Guidestones and the World Economic Forum and the Great Reset? Now, the Great Reset, for me sounds like something massive. Like you don't have like if someone said, you work for someone and said, right, we're gonna have this massive reset, you would think there's going to be a huge change. So if you look at the Georgia Guidestones, there's some huge changes. Some of the statements they've made on there are like massively, like alarm bells ringing. 500 million people on the planet is what they want. Whoever did them has stated 500 million people. Well, that means 7.3 billion with a B have to be. So we'll go into a few things about how and what would you do to get rid of that many people. So the connection between the two. Okay, so World Economic Forum, 10 years before the Georgia Guidestones. So 1971, World Economic Forum came to be. 1981, the Georgia Guidestones were put up. I think that's what the first recorded date is of when they were actually erected, and just 10 years apart. Now, when you talk about, like in political terms and things like that, things are never very quick. They're always in a kind of corporate slow-mo is how things get done. It takes years usually for things to come into practice. So is that connection? Is there a valid connection between the Great Reset and the Georgia Guidestones? Because if someone said the Georgia Guidestones were the plan of the Great Reset, then it would kind of make sense, because the stuff you read on there is a massive difference, a massive change in the way we live, how many people are on the planet, the way production's guided, like there's laws, courts, all this kind of like thing. And we all know there's a like one world order. Like it's pretty self-explanatory. How would things be so like acted upon in unison? We see things happening in different parts of the world at the same time. Coincidence? I can't get my head round that the coincidence of 10 different places all doing the same thing at the same time would be a thing. I just can't see that. So, in my own opinion, I think there is a massive connection between the two, between Georgia Guidestones and the Great Reset. Now that's worrying, because none of the things on there are very good. Like I've just said, there's 7.3 billion people have got to be, and I don't think that's it's a very nice thing at all. Oh God, as I'm thinking about this, it's like, oh, it's evil. It's evil. Now there's there's a couple of talks. I think 504 said it. He's kind of set on having them removed, starting a petition to get them removed, or something in that sense. I'm on the opposite side, where I think I understand why you would want them removed, because they are genuinely evil things. They don't say anything nice. It's not like you would take a tour bus of tourists there and say, oh, look at these, and the first thing they read is that the population needs to come down to 500 million. I think it would raise too many questions, and yeah, not going to really happen. There might be tours, I don't know, but I think they should be left up for the fact that it's a part of the plan. It's in your face, I agree. It's in your face, a big FU to all of the people who think, the way we do, open-minded. We understand languages when it comes to how governments speak to us, and it's easy. The media as well. We decipher it. 504 does a grand job of deciphering some of the stuff on like CNN and whatever. Really entertaining, also very informative. He's got a good ear and a good eye to catch some of the things that they say that would just blow over most people's heads. So I want you to answer me. Do you think there's a connection between the Georgia Guidestones and the Great Reset? Got to have a little bit of research and just see what you think. See if you think that there is some kind of is that the master plan of the Great Reset, for instance? For me, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's, for me, the Guidestones to be put up. Obviously, they were put up by an elite group. I don't think it's a single person. I think it's a collaboration of very high-ranking, like shadow government or the darker government, the people above the governments we see. I think it could be it could be their main objective. It sounds like it, and when you read it, you think it's quite disturbing. So drop in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you think there's a correlation between the two? Is it the same people? There could be two groups. Alex Jones always used to go on about that there was two groups in this cult that run all this stuff, and there's the fast group and the slow group. The slow group don't really care about when it's done, they just want it done. Then there's the fast group who want everything now, they've got to pile on through, and in the last 2 years it feels like the faster group, the people who want it done now, they're the people that are in charge. Now I know it goes back and forwards because we've had a lull before all this stuff came into play. There was quite a lull. There wasn't much going on. There was a lot of little things to point and pick at and whatever, but nothing as big as this. And what perfect crisis that we're going through for the last 2 years for them to take advantage of and bring in the Great Reset. Go and have a read of it, because it's something I'm not gonna voice it out, because I think it's something you should see yourself, you should read yourself and try and understand yourself. I've had a good read of it. I've done quite a bit of research on it. Russell Brand's done some stuff on it. Various other people have done it. I'm sure if you just put into YouTube, you'll find the Great Reset. You'll find lots of videos on it. But go and have a look at the official Horse's Mouth website, so you get an actual account of what it is. The language used, the statements they're making, what it's for, why they're doing it, all this kind of stuff, because I think that's important to get clarification from the Horse's Mouth. Then go look at people who've deciphered what that says, and don't get one view, get 100 different views. I think because this, for me, and I think 504 as well, this is the biggest thing. This is the monuments, these monoliths are their golden child, you know what I mean? This is their thing set in stone. When people say set in stone, it's usually something that cannot be reversed. It's underway, so it can't just stop. Sorry mate, it's set in stone. Job interview, sorry mate, we've got someone that's kind of set in stone now. You're not going to get that job. So just think about the symbology of it. Go look at 504's channel, because he did a really good piece. 504 Cut on YouTube, or 504 Cut News. Did a really good live sort of analysis of what they are. There's a lot of stuff in the chat. You'll probably see me in there. I was a little opposed to what he wanted to do, but I fully understand why. And it wasn't really an argument, it was more of a I was trying to make the point that these things I think are massively important for people like him, me, and all the people who listen to this kind of stuff on all these different channels on YouTube. I think they're really, really important for people to see these things, because the story behind them, there's no, oh, it was put up for, by, like, there isn't any information. I even got someone I know very close who's not into any of this stuff at all, thinks everything's, hunky-dory, and I said, have you ever seen them? And I can't find much information. It's not like, it's a bit cloak and dagger, so I know that got them thinking a bit. But I want to know what you think. I want to know if you think that there is a deep connection, a slight connection. What is that connection? Maybe when you research you'll find something I haven't, and I would love to know. I'd love to know what your opinion is on these things, because they're evil. They're horrible, horrible, horrible things. And I, show people. There's plenty of stuff just on Google, on whatever search engine you COVID, whatever you search engine you use. There's lots of information on there. There's pictures. You can read all the different things on there. It's in 8 different languages, all the main languages of the planet. So there's, it's a big scale thing. It's not just for the US or the UK or this or that. It's for everybody on this planet. And I think the faster people can see this, hence why I defend, please don't take them down, because I want everybody to see these things before they actually do. And you spreading the information that these things exist, people can go look at them on mainstream media, because don't forget, a lot of people need to see it in the news or in the media for them to believe something, because they believe everything the media tells them. So find it, instead of going to like some dodgy website, some like rah conspiracy thing, give them something on their terms, because I find that I'm getting much further with people showing things on their terms. Find out what news they listen to, and then go and search. If it is CNN or someone like that, go CNN, Georgia Guidestones, and I'm sure there's a piece. I'm sure they've covered something like that. So listen, let's leave it there. I want you to get in the comments, let me know what you think, and give me your opinions. Tell me stuff you found about them in case I don't know about it, because I'd love to know. I need to learn more about these things. Maybe there's someone listening who knows more than everyone else, and I would love to hear it. So let's leave it there. Take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and we shall see you on the next one. Take care of yourself.